If you're thinking about buying a DJI AVATA, I'm about to give you the best advice you're gonna hear. This is an Eachine 0-17 non-FPV quadcopter, and this will make you a better AVATA pilot. This is the box that it comes with. The controller, it takes 3 AAA batteries, an extra 1S 150 milliamp battery, 4 extra propellers, a USB charger, and a mini screwdriver for working on your drone. And even though it comes with this charger, I really recommend a 6-in-1 charger. But I think one of my biggest recommendations for you guys is to grab a launch pad. You'll be able to use this with your toy drones and your DJI AVATA. So let's go ahead and give it a flight together, and let me give you some beginner tips. Okay guys, go ahead, first things first, and put your landing gear out. You can do blue or you can do the orange side. I kind of like the orange side, it's a little easier to see. I'm gonna set the drone here, turn on the radio, plug in the drone into the bottom of the port. And once you do that, you'll see a flashing light. Go ahead and take your throttle stick, which is on the left right here, push it up and then back down. And to arm this little drone, it's pretty simple. You just press the throttle stick up like this, and you can see the prop start, and you can just lift up again, and that'll bring the drone up off the ground. Just putting the throttle up and bring it back down to kill the motors. Now today we're flying right next to our chicken coop, and our 4 girls are in there. We're gonna go ahead and take off anyway, just for fun. We're gonna go ahead and push up to arm it, and push up again for it to come up off the ground. And right now, check that out. That's a hands-off hover outdoors. So there must not be a lot of wind right here. It's kind of drifting over to the right-hand side. There is no throttle trim on here to be able to push kind of one way or the other, but it seems to be kind of drifting this direction. And let's go over to the landing pad. We're just gonna practice a landing, first landing with this little E17, and it kills the motors automatically when it touches down. So it must have a little bit of an intelligent flight controller, which is kind of cool. Now I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and put it up again, and we're gonna come up off the ground by pushing it twice. That'll bring it up and kind of levels itself out. It has kind of an altitude hold, throttle hold type of thing to it. So if you push left, it'll go left and right. And if it starts to drop, just give it a little throttle on the left and bring it back up. And practicing first, you want to learn how to hover in one spot. Try to keep it in one spot. If it starts to drift, bring it back. It's a really simple process. You just want to keep the back of the drone facing you so that right is right, left is left, and forward is forward. What'll get you into trouble as a new person flying a drone is the yaw. Now the yaw will spin it around on its rotational axis, what we call the Z axis, straight up and down. And that could be a problem for beginners, because once you spin around nose in, left becomes right and right becomes left. So pushing the drone left makes it go right, pushing it right makes it go left. So very confusing for people. Once you learn how to fly nose in like this, this is really going to teach you to be a much better AVATA pilot. And learning how to fly line of sight first, guys, it's like my best advice for anyone learning how to fly a drone. It doesn't matter what drone you're learning how to fly. I mean, I'm literally sitting on the ground right here, just kind of playing around with this little drone. The right stick over here is your roll axis, which goes left and right, side to side, what we also call aileron axis. And front to back here on the right stick, that is your pitch axis. So forward and backwards, just like that. Left and right, left and right. And you know, you can fly this with the one stick right here. We should be able to get a pretty decent flight time. And on the left-hand side right here, you can see it just rotating there and not really drifting that far away. This thing seems to be balanced out pretty well. Rotating on the left stick, left and right is the yaw axis. And that is your horizontal rotation axis. And you can rotate, this is also called pirouette. And you can go the other way. And practice finding the back of this little drone, because it's kind of hard to figure out where the back and the front are, because they do look slightly different, but there's no color variation here. It would be nice if they had like a yellow front, maybe an orange front and a green back. But you could take like a paint marker and draw on where the front of the drone is, because once you get across the room, it's kind of hard to tell. Another thing I just noticed is that we can bump into things and it won't crash right away, which is really cool. Now, once you master hovering in one spot, you know how to fly side to side, you know how to fly forwards and backwards, you know how to use your yaw and kind of get yourself back around. If you get in trouble, put the rear of the drone back to you again, facing you, and try to pull it back to you and come back in and land. Now, approaching your first landing is going to take some practice. You're going to have to just come in a little bit at a time. The throttle is here. That makes it go up and down altitude wise. So we're just going to push down until we come closer to the landing pad. You're going to try to land right on that little H. And there we go. We're going to take off again. So we're going to go up like this. And now at this point, you've pretty much learned all of your different axes. So we can go ahead and go into some kind of free flight, forward flight here. And this takes the practice of using both thumbs to fly the drone. So you're banking and yawing at the same time and giving it a little bit of forward pitch. You can see as it comes by, my fingers are on the transmitter on both sticks, making all that happen at once. That takes some practice. So do circles at first. Do your circle circuits, keeping the nose straight, going around in a circle. And once you get used to doing circles, one way, go the other way. Okay? Teach yourself how to fly the other way. Once you do that, start doing some figure eights. Your figure eights are going to be a little harder. And this is great practice for adults or kids, honestly. And try not to hit myself with it. But if I do, it's not a big deal. And again, like I said, you can kind of bump into things with this drone. If you get too close, like curtains, it'll kind of suck itself to the wall. But bumping into things like the fence over there, it seems to just bump off and keep flying, which is really great. Especially for beginners. Like I can literally bump into that fence over there and still make it back. So that's really good. This little drone has great reviews. People seem to really like it. And at the end of the battery, you'll see it start to flash like this. And your battery's ready to be recharged. So I guess we got about 5 minutes flight time at that little E0-17. Pretty cool little quadcopter. So before you start flying your DJI AVATA, no matter what type of toy quadcopter you buy, just buy one, take it outside and fly it outside or indoors in the living room. Fly it religiously for a day or two. Get as many flights as you can before your AVATA shows up, because flying line of sight first before you go and strap up your goggles and fly FPV with your AVATA, it's going to make such a huge difference for your skills as an FPV pilot. I promise you, take that to heart, take that advice with you for the next however many years you're flying. So very, very important. Most of the professional pilots that you see out there today flying amazing cinematic videos, they all started line of sight somewhere, and not many of them started flying FPV right away. So even myself, with over 10 years of FPV experience, I was originally an RC airplane guy. So when we started putting cameras on things, that's when things started to get fun. So here we are in 2022 with the DJI AVATA, and now a great little trainer drone. So $22. Grab one from my link down below, and give this video a thumbs up and a like, because this is one of the easiest, simplest ways to become a drone pilot. I appreciate you guys. Subscribe for more DJI AVATA videos and tutorials coming up. I'm Justin Davis. Take care, and we will see you on the next one.